Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to hear me today. I want you to feel these words in your spirit because they are not just words. They are a call to action. There is a battle going on inside your mind, a battle that most people lose before it even begins. The battle of negative thinking. And I am here to tell you that you are bigger than your thoughts. Every time you tell yourself, I can't, I'm not enough, it's impossible, you are giving permission for negativity to take root in your life. But listen carefully, thoughts are not facts. Thoughts are only seeds. You get to decide what grows. You have the power to uproot those thoughts, to tear them from your mind, to kill every seed of negativity that whispers lies into your ear. You see, negativity is not just a thought, it is a thief. It steals your peace, your confidence, your joy, and your destiny. It tells you that your past defines your future. But I say to you today, your past does not have to define your tomorrow. You must fight. You must be intentional. You must refuse to feed those thoughts with your energy. Every time a negative thought tries to take over, counter it with truth. Counter it with gratitude. Counter it with faith in yourself. If you don't control your thoughts will control you. Killing your negative thinking is not a one-time battle. It is a lifestyle. It is a daily, relentless pursuit of mental freedom. You have to be vigilant, you have to be courageous, and you have to declare over your life, I will not be held captive by fear, doubt, or despair. Stand up right now and make a decision. Decide that your mind will no longer be a prison but a palace, a place where hope, vision, and victory dwell. Kill your negative thinking. Watch your life transform. Watch doors open that were never opened before. Watch blessings manifest that you never thought possible. Do not wait for someone else to fix your mind. Do not wait for circumstances to change. The power is in your hands. Right now, you can choose life over fear, faith over doubt, and positivity over negativity. Kill the negative, claim your destiny, and walk boldly into the life you were created to live. There is a battle raging inside of you. Yes, right now, in the very depths of your mind, a war is being fought, a war that will determine the course of your life. This battle is silent, subtle, and sneaky. Most people don't even realize it exists. But I want you to see it today. I want you to understand that your greatest enemy is not the world outside, it is the mind within. Every single day, every single hour, every single minute, your mind is bombarded by thoughts. Thoughts that either lift you or weigh you down. Thoughts that either empower you or enslave you. I am not just talking about random thoughts. I am talking about the persistent, repetitive thoughts that creep in like shadows, whispering lies, sowing seeds of doubt, fear, and despair. They tell you that you are not enough, that your dreams are too big, that your failures define you. And if you are not careful, these thoughts will shape your reality. You see, recognizing this battle is the first step toward winning it. Because you cannot fight what you do not see. Many people live their entire lives unaware that their minds are under siege. They blame circumstances, they blame others, they blame the economy, they blame bad luck. But the truth is the battle has always been in their minds. And until they confront it, nothing else can change. How often do negative thoughts invade your mind without permission? How often do you wake up feeling discouraged before the day has even begun? How often do you replay mistakes from your past over and over again, letting them control your mood, your choices, your attitude? That is the battle I am talking about. That is the silent enemy that is robbing you of your peace, your confidence, and your joy. The mind is a powerful weapon, but it is also a dangerous battlefield. Every thought you allow to take root has the potential to grow into a reality. If you feed fear, doubt, and worry, it will grow stronger. If you nurture negativity, it will multiply and consume you. But the good news is this: you have the power to choose. You have the authority to recognize the enemy and take control. You can say, I will not allow these thoughts to dictate my life. I will not surrender my mind to fear, anxiety, or despair. I will fight for my mind every single day. Recognizing the battle means acknowledging the enemy. You have to identify the thoughts that are holding you back, the lies that are keeping you small, the patterns of thinking that are keeping you stuck. It means being honest with yourself. It means saying, yes, I struggle with negative thinking. Yes, I have allowed doubt to control my decisions. Yes, I have believed the lies my mind has told me. And once you acknowledge it, you can begin to confront it. But recognizing the battle is not just about seeing the negative. It is also about understanding how powerful your mind really is. Your mind is the control center of your life. Every decision you make, every action you take, every habit you form begins in your mind. If your mind is at war, your life will reflect that war. If your mind is at peace, your life will reflect that peace. So recognizing the battle is about taking responsibility for your mental state. It's about refusing to allow negativity to have the upper hand. This battle will not always be easy. Negative thoughts are persistent. They are relentless. They will come back over and over again. You will think you have defeated them, only to find them returning in a different form. That is why recognizing the battle is crucial. It is the first step in building mental discipline. It is the first step in learning how to guard your mind against the lies, the fears, and the doubts that threaten to control you. Recognizing the battle requires courage. It requires vulnerability. It requires humility. You cannot fight what you refuse to admit exists. You cannot take control of your mind if you are pretending that everything is fine when in reality your thoughts are controlling you. Courage means looking your fears in the face and saying, I see you. I recognize you. I will not let you win. Let me tell you something else. Recognizing the battle in your mind is not just about survival. It is about freedom. When you begin to see the enemy for what it is, you start to reclaim power over your life. You begin to make conscious choices instead of reacting to fear. You begin to speak words of life over yourself instead of allowing lies to dominate your thoughts. You begin to build a mind that aligns with your destiny rather than a mind that keeps you stuck in regret. So how do you recognize the battle? You start by paying attention. Pay attention to your thoughts. Listen to the messages you are sending yourself. Notice the patterns. Notice the repetition. Ask yourself, which of these thoughts are helping me? Which of these thoughts are hurting me? And then take action. Do not let these thoughts go unchecked. Challenge them. Replace them. Kill the thoughts that are trying to destroy you and plant thoughts that will grow into hope, courage, and faith. Recognizing the battle also means understanding that you are not alone. Every human being experiences negative thoughts, self-doubt, and fear. The difference between those who succeed and those who fail is this: the winners recognize the battle and fight it relentlessly. The ones who fail either deny the battle exists or surrender to it. Today, I am calling you to be a fighter. Today, I am calling you to take a stand in your mind. Finally, recognizing the battle in your mind is about vision. It is about seeing yourself beyond your current thoughts. It is about imagining a future where your mind is free, where your thoughts are aligned with your purpose, where your potential's unleashed. If you can see it in your mind, if you can imagine it, then you can fight for it. You can work toward it. You can make it a reality. Will you recognize the battle in your mind? Will you admit the enemy exists? Will you take control before your thoughts take control of you? Will you fight for your peace, your confidence, and your destiny? Because the moment you recognize the battle, the moment you see the enemy for what it is, you take the first step toward victory. And victory, my friends, begins in the mind. The mind is the battlefield. Your thoughts are the weapons, and you are the general. Lead with courage. Lead with discipline. Lead with vision. Recognize the battle in your mind. Fight it daily. Watch as your life transforms. The war is real, but so is your power. And today, the battle can end in your favor if you choose to recognize it, confront it, and win it. I want you to hear me today, and I want you to feel these words deep in your spirit. Your thoughts are seeds. Yes, every single thought that crosses your mind, every idea that lingers in your heart, every whisper in your soul, it is a seed. And like every seed, it has the potential to grow. It has the potential to produce life or death, to produce joy or despair, to produce victory or defeat. Think about that for a moment. Every single thought you entertain is not harmless. Every single thought you nurture is not inconsequential. It is a seed. Seeds, my friends, grow. They grow into the reality you live every single day. If you plant fear in your mind, it will grow. If you plant doubt, it will grow. If you plant anger, resentment, or negativity, they will grow. And before you know it, those seeds have grown into forests of obstacles, walls that block your progress, storms that overwhelm your life. The same is true for the seeds of faith, hope, courage, and positivity. If you plant belief in yourself, it will grow. If you plant gratitude in your heart, it will flourish. If you nurture visions of victory and possibilities, they will manifest. The quality of your life, my friends, is determined by the seeds you plant in your mind. And that, I want you to understand, is entirely within your control. I need you to listen carefully because this is critical. The mind is like fertile soil. It does not discriminate. Whatever seed you plant will grow if it is watered. And what waters your seeds? Your focus, your energy, your attention. If you spend your time worrying, replaying failures, and obsessing over negative thoughts, you are watering seeds of destruction. And if you spend your time believing, visualizing, speaking life into your dreams, you are watering seeds of success. Now, most people never realize this. Most people are walking around thinking that their life is just a result of luck, chance, or circumstances. But no, it is a result of the seeds that have been planted in your mind over time. That anxious thought you had 10 years ago, discouraging words someone spoke to you last week, that fear that has been lingering in your heart for months. All of these are seeds. And if they have been watered by your focus, by your worry, by your belief in them, they have grown. They have become realities in your life. Here is the liberating part. You can choose the seeds you plant today. You can choose the thoughts you nurture. You can decide which seeds get watered and which seeds are left to wither and die. And this is why recognizing that thoughts are seeds is so powerful. Because once you understand it, you realize that your life is not a victim of circumstance. It is the harvest of your own mental garden. I want you to imagine a farmer. A farmer does not plant weeds and expect a field of corn. No, the farmer carefully selects the seeds, nurtures them, waters them, protects them from pests and storms. The same is true for your mind. You are the farmer of your thoughts. You must plant seeds of faith, seeds of hope, seeds of vision. You must water them with positive energy, protect them from negativity, and believe in their growth. And when you do, you will reap a harvest of abundance, success, and peace. Seeds take time to grow. You cannot plant a thought of faith today and expect it to instantly produce success tomorrow. Growth requires patience, persistence, and protection. You must guard your mind against the weeds of doubt, the storms of fear, and the pests of negativity. You must continue to nurture your seeds with encouragement, repetition, and affirmation. And over time, the seeds you have planted will blossom into the life you have imagined. There is a danger if you ignore this truth. Many people allow negative seeds to take root without even realizing it. A careless word, a fleeting thought, a moment of fear, these can become seeds that grow unchecked. And before long, those seeds have grown into entire forests of limitation. Forests that block your vision, suffocate your dreams, and keep you trapped in a cycle of struggle. That is why awareness is key. You must recognize which seeds are taking root and decide with deliberate intention which ones you will allow to grow. I want you to understand the power of choice here. You may not be able to control everything that happens to you in life. You can control what you plant in your mind. You can control which thoughts you focus on, which ideas you dwell on, which beliefs you nurture. And when you take that control, everything changes. The seeds of faith grow. The seeds of confidence grow. The seeds of resilience grow. Your life transforms into a reflection of the seeds you have chosen to cultivate. Your mind is a garden. What is growing there is up to you. If you want joy, you must plant joy. If you want peace, you must plant peace. If you want success, you must plant vision and faith. And let me tell you something, this is not just theory. This is reality. Every single great accomplishment in history began with a thought, a seed that someone nurtured, protected, and believed in until it became a harvest. Look inside your mind. What seeds have you been planting? What thoughts have you been watering? Are they seeds of limitation or seeds of possibility? Are they seeds of fear or seeds of faith? Are they seeds that will produce poverty or seeds that will produce abundance? And make the decision right here, right now, to plant only what you want to grow. Seeds can grow under the harshest conditions. Even if your past was filled with weeds, Even if negativity has dominated your mind for years, you can start anew. You can uproot the old seeds, plant new ones, nurture them, and watch your life change. It is never too late to plant thoughts that will produce a harvest of hope, courage, and victory. Your thoughts are seeds. They are powerful. They are transformative. They are capable of producing miracles if you choose them wisely. So plant with intention, water with faith, protect with persistence, and believe in the growth. Your mind is a garden, your life is the harvest, and the seeds you plant today will determine your destiny tomorrow. Do not underestimate the power of a single thought. Do not despise the small beginnings. Even the tiniest seed, if nurtured, can become the tallest tree. And your thoughts, when carefully chosen and consistently nurtured, can produce greatness beyond your wildest imagination. Be intentional. Be vigilant. Recognize that thoughts are seeds and plant with purpose. Plant with faith. Plant with courage. Plant seeds that will grow into the life you were meant to live. Your mind is fertile, your future is bright, and your harvest is waiting if you have the wisdom to plant the right seeds. Negative thinking is a thief. It does not ask for permission, it does not give warnings, and it does not care about your dreams, your purpose, or your destiny. Negative thinking sneaks into your mind quietly, subtly, almost like a shadow in the night, and before you know it, it has stolen something precious. Your peace, your enough, your joy, your confidence, your hope, and even your future. You see, negativity is not just a thought. It is a thief disguised as a thought. It whispers lies into your mind, tells you that you are not enough, that your dreams are impossible, that your efforts will fail. And if you allow it, it will rob you blind. It will take your energy, it will steal your focus, and it will leave you trapped in a cycle of fear and doubt. And the worst part, most people don't even recognize it happening. They wake up one day wondering why their life hasn't changed, why their opportunities have not come, why their dreams remain distant, and all the while, negative thinking has been quietly robbing them thought by thought. Negative thinking is relentless. It doesn't tire. It doesn't rest. It doesn't care how strong or talented you are. It looks for weakness, for vulnerability, for the cracks in your faith, and it attacks relentlessly. And if you do not guard your mind, if you do not confront it, it will continue to steal from you until there is nothing left but regret, disappointment, and despair. Thieves can be stopped. Negative thinking is no different. You have the power to recognize it, confront it, and take back what it has stolen from you. The first step is awareness. You must understand that negative thoughts are not harmless. They are not just passing ideas, they are thieves. And every time you entertain them, you are giving them permission to take from you. Think about this for a moment. How often have you allowed fear to dictate your decisions? How often have you allowed doubt to paralyze you? How often have you replayed failures in your mind and let them steal your joy, your courage, your motivation? That is the thief at work. And every single time you give it room to operate, it robs you of your potential. Negative thinking doesn't just steal peace, it steals vision. It clouds your perspective. It convinces you that doors are closed when they are wide open. It convinces you that opportunities are impossible when they are within reach. It convinces you that you are weak when you were created for strength. And here is the painful part. Most people let it succeed because they underestimate its power. They underestimate the damage a single thought can do over time. Let me remind you, the thief is smart. Negative thinking rarely announces itself. It does not come in a way that feels dangerous. It comes disguised as a little worry here, a little doubt there, a fleeting moment of fear that seems harmless. But every one of these thoughts, if nurtured and repeated, grows stronger. And before long, you are trapped in a web of your own making. Your dreams feel farther away. Your confidence feels smaller, and your faith feels weaker, all because the thief has been working quietly in the background. So what can we do? Stop this thief from stealing what belongs to us. First, we must name it. Call it what it is, negative thinking. Don't pretend it is not there. Excuse it as just being realistic. Or just thinking, recognize it as the thief it is. And once you name it, you take away its power. Thieves only succeed when you ignore them, when you allow them to operate unnoticed. Awareness is your first weapon. Second, You must take action immediately. Do not wait for negative thoughts to pass or for circumstances to change. Do not wait for someone else to protect your mind. You must take responsibility for your thoughts. Speak truth over your mind. Counter every negative thought with a positive one. Replace doubt with faith. Replace fear with courage. Replace despair with hope. The thief cannot withstand this kind of resistance. It can only steal from those who do nothing. Third, understand that negative thinking is temporary if you refuse to nurture it. Thoughts are like guests. If you entertain them, if you feed them attention, they stay. But if you reject them, they leave. The more you dwell on negative thoughts, the stronger they become. But if you challenge them, question them, and replace them with empowering truths, their power diminishes. Every time you do this, you are reclaiming territory in your mind. Every time you do this, you are taking back what the thief tried to steal. The thief is not just stealing your present, it is stealing your future. Negative thinking convinces you that your past defines you, that your failures are permanent, that your potential is limited. And if you believe that lie, it will rob you of the life you were meant to live. It will keep you stuck in mediocrity, fear, and unfulfilled dreams. But when you recognize it for what it is, when you refuse to entertain it, when you fight against it, you reclaim your destiny. I need you to understand the urgency of this. Every day you allow negative thinking to operate unchecked is another day the thief steals from you. Another day your confidence is diminished. Another day your dreams are delayed. And one day, if you do not act, you may look back and realize that the thief has robbed you blind, not of money or possessions, but of something far more valuable, your joy, your peace, your purpose, your destiny. You can stop it. You have the power to recognize the thief, confront it, and take back what belongs to you. You can protect your mind like a fortress. You can fill it with positive thoughts, empowering beliefs, and unshakable faith. You can guard it with discipline, prayer, focus, and action. And when you do, you will find that the thief has no power over you. It may try, but it cannot succeed against a mind that is alert, aware, and determined. Reclaiming your mind is not just an act of survival, it is an act of triumph. Every time you resist negative thinking, every time you replace fear with faith, every time you refuse to let doubt control your actions, you grow stronger. You grow bolder. You grow closer to the life you were meant to live. And one day, you will look back and realize that the thief tried to steal from you, but you were too wise, too vigilant, too empowered to allow it. Recognize the thief. Name it. Confront it. Take action. Guard your mind. Fill it with thoughts that build, empower, elevate you. Refuse to let negativity steal what belongs to you. Your peace, your joy, your faith, your dreams, your destiny. Every thought is a choice. Every choice determines whether the thief succeeds or fails. When you take back control of your mind, when you refuse to let negative thinking steal from you, nothing in the world can stop the greatness that is coming for you. Nothing can prevent the harvest of joy, success, and fulfillment that belongs to you. The thief may try, but it cannot win against a determined, disciplined, faith-filled mind. Negative thinking is a thief, but you are the gatekeeper. You are the protector. You are the victor. And today, you have the power to take back everything that was stolen and step boldly into the life you were created to live. I want you to hear me today. And I want you to feel the weight of this truth deep in your spirit. Your past does not define your future. Whatever you have experienced, every mistake, every failure, every heartbreak, every disappointment does not determine who you are meant to be or the life you are meant to live. Yes, your past may be a part of your story, but it is not the final chapter. It is not the end. It is merely a set of experiences from which you can rise, learn, and grow. Too many people live as though their past is a chain holding them back from becoming who they were created to be. They replay mistakes over and over in their minds. They hold on to failures as if they are permanent. They let shame and regret dictate their present decisions and their future potential. And I am here to tell you today that ends now. That ends today. Because your past is not a prison, it is a classroom. Every failure, every setback, every challenge, every wound is a lesson. And if you allow yourself to learn, to grow, and to rise above, you will discover that your past has been preparing you for your greatest future. Your past may have shaped you. It does not have to limit you. You may have been rejected, overlooked, betrayed, or underestimated, but those things do not determine your worth or your destiny. You may have been hurt deeply, lost opportunities, or faced circumstances that seemed unfair, but your future is not bound by those moments. Your future is defined by what you do with today, what seeds you plant in your mind, and what choices you make moving forward. Every successful person you admire has a past, and many of them had painful, difficult, even humiliating pasts. But they refuse to let those pasts define them. They refuse to allow failures, mistakes, setbacks to dictate the size of their dreams. And the same power is available to you. You can take every experience, good or bad, and use it as a stepping stone to your future. You can allow the lessons of yesterday to fuel the victories of tomorrow. Too many people get trapped by the lies of the past. They believe that because they failed once, they will always fail. They believe that because someone hurt them, they will always be hurt. They believe that because they were overlooked, they will always be overlooked. In believing these lies, they surrender their potential. They hand their future over to circumstances, fear, and doubt. And that, my friends, is a tragedy. But it is a tragedy that can be reversed. It is a story that can be rewritten. And it starts with one bold declaration: your past does not define your future. Let me give you a perspective that will change the way you see your past. Imagine your life as a river, the water behind you. The river you have already traveled is your past. You cannot change it. You cannot go back and stir it up. You cannot undo what has already happened. But the river ahead of you, the part you have not yet traveled, is your future. And the water ahead can be shaped, directed, and controlled by what you do now. You can navigate it with wisdom, courage, and determination. You can steer it towards success, fulfillment, and joy. You are not trapped by the rapids behind you. You are empowered by the possibilities in front of you. Your past can be a teacher, but it cannot be a dictator. It can show you what works, what doesn't, where you need to grow, and what you need to avoid. It can make you wiser, stronger, and more resilient. It cannot decide the limits of your future. You are the one who decides how far you will go, how high you will rise, and what you will accomplish. The past is only as powerful as you allow it to be. You are not defined by your failures, your mistakes, or your missteps. You are defined by your ability to rise, to persevere, to learn, and to keep moving forward. You are defined by your faith, your courage, and your determination to create the life you deserve. You are defined by your willingness to refuse the lies of yesterday and embrace the possibilities of tomorrow. Many of you are carrying regrets, shame, guilt from your past, but I want to tell you something today. You are not your past. The mistakes you made do not make you a failure. The doors that closed do not mean your life is over. The relationships that ended do not mean love will never find you. Every single experience, every single challenge, every single setback is an opportunity to rise stronger than before. And when you understand this, your past loses its power over you. Every moment you have lived, every trial you have endured, every pain you have experienced, it was all preparation for what is ahead. Your past has been shaping your strength, your wisdom, and your resilience. It has been building your character. It has been equipping you to handle the blessings, opportunities, and victories that are waiting for you. What you went through was never meant to break you. It was meant to prepare you. And if you recognize this, if you embrace this, your past becomes a platform for your future rather than a prison. I need you to understand something critical. The future is always bigger than the past. No matter how dark, difficult, or painful your past has been, the future holds possibilities beyond your imagination. But you must choose to believe it. You must choose to take the lessons and leave the regrets. You must choose to let go of the shame, the fear, doubts that try to chain you to what has already happened. The moment you release the past, the moment you refuse to let it define you, you step into a life of freedom, hope, and limitless potential. Your past may have happened, but your future is not written yet. You are the author of the next chapter of your life. You have the pen in your hand. You have the power to rewrite your story. You have the ability to rise above, to overcome, and to create a future that reflects your dreams, your faith, and your purpose. Do not allow yesterday to dictate tomorrow. Do not allow past failures to dictate future successes. Do not allow old wounds to dictate the joy, peace, and fulfillment that are your birthright. Look at your past, not with regret, but with wisdom. Take the lessons, embrace the growth, and leave behind the mistakes, the shame, and the pain. Declare this over your life: my past does not define my future. I am not limited by yesterday. I am empowered by today, and I am creating a future of purpose, victory, and fulfillment. You are not your past. You are not the failures you've endured. You are not the mistakes you've made. You are not the wounds you carry. You are a child of possibility, a vessel of destiny, a warrior of purpose, and a creator of your future. And the moment you embrace that truth, the moment you refuse to let the past define you, your future becomes unstoppable. Your past does not define your future, but the choices you make today will. So choose wisely. Choose courage, choose faith, choose hope, choose to rise above, choose to step into the life you were created to live. Your past is behind you, but your future is waiting, and it is glorious. There comes a moment in every person's life when the mind becomes a battleground. Not a quiet space, not a peaceful sanctuary, not a place of calm reflection, but a storm, a war zone, a fire-filled arena where thoughts collide with destiny. And in that arena, negative thoughts are always the loudest. They scream, they accuse, they distort, they exaggerate. They try to convince you that the worst parts of you are the truest parts of you. But hear this clearly: you are not meant to lose that fight. Negative thoughts will always try to rise first. They are fast, they are intrusive, and they are persistent. They come early in the morning when you haven't fully awakened. They come late at night when your guard is down. They whisper during your quiet moments, trying to slip into your spirit and rewrite your identity. They tell you that you are unworthy, unqualified, unwanted, unseen. They tell you that you don't have what it takes, that you will never rise, never grow, never overcome. Negative thoughts are bullies. They push, they intimidate, and they try to overwhelm. But the truth is stronger than every lie your mind has ever heard. Truth is your weapon. Truth is your shield. Truth is your freedom. And the moment you learn to fight negative thoughts with truth, you shift the entire atmosphere of your life. Because negative thoughts cannot survive when truth is spoken boldly, consistently, and fearlessly. You fight lies with truth, sentence for sentence, breath for breath, moment for moment. You fight by refusing to let negative thoughts take the microphone of your mind. Whatever voice you amplify becomes the leader of your life. If negativity becomes the loudest voice, it becomes your guide, and it will guide you into fear, insecurity, procrastination, hesitation, and paralysis. But if truth becomes the loudest voice, it guides you into courage, awareness, inner peace, confidence, destiny. To fight negative thoughts with truth, you must first learn to recognize the lies when they come, because negative thoughts often disguise themselves as logic, as caution, as practicality. Some of the most destructive lies sound almost reasonable. They say things like, stay where you are, don't try, don't hope again, protect yourself by shrinking. But anything that demands you to shrink, anything that demands you to silence your potential, anything that demands you to lower your vision, that is not truth. That is fear dressed like wisdom. You must learn to respond. Silence is agreement. When you stay quiet, negative thoughts grow stronger. You have to speak back. You have to speak life over yourself, even when you don't feel it yet, because truth doesn't need your emotions to be valid. Truth stands on its own. It stands whether you believe it or not. But when you begin to believe it, when you begin to embrace it, when you begin to declare it, everything inside you begins to shift. Truth rewires your mind. Truth rebuilds your confidence. Truth restores your strength. Truth reminds you that you are capable, that you are worthy, that you are growing, that you are evolving, that you are destined for more. Truth breaks chains that negative thoughts tied around you years ago. Chains you didn't even realize were still there. You fight with truth by being intentional. You fight by being aware. You fight by refusing to retreat. Every time a negative thought rises, fight back immediately. Don't let it build. Don't let it plant roots. Don't give it room to grow. Speak your truth the moment negativity opens its mouth. If the thought says, I can't, you say, watch me. If the thought says, I'm afraid, you say, I am still moving. If the thought says, I'll never be enough, you say, I am more than enough. Your words shift the power dynamic in your mind. Truth is not passive. Truth is an active force. It doesn't sit quietly, it speaks boldly. It doesn't wait for permission, it declares authority. When you choose truth, you choose power. You choose clarity. You choose growth. You choose the version of yourself that negativity didn't want you to meet. You are stronger than the thoughts that try to break you. You are bigger than the doubts that try to drown you. You are greater than the fears that try to limit you. And every time you speak truth, you push back darkness. You reclaim your identity. You reclaim your peace. You reclaim your vision. You reclaim your joy. You step back into alignment with the person you were always meant to be. The fight is daily, so is the victory. You don't win one time. You win every time you choose truth over negativity. You win every time you refuse to believe lies about yourself. You win every time you rise instead of retreat. You win every time you choose hope instead of fear. You win every time you choose faith instead of doubt. This fight is shaping you. This fight is strengthening you. This fight is preparing you. And when you continue choosing truth, something powerful happens. The negative thoughts get quieter. The lies lose their authority. The fear loses its grip. The self-doubt loses its influence. And eventually, your mind becomes a place where peace rises more quickly than panic, where clarity speaks louder than confusion, where truth takes the throne and negativity becomes the defeated enemy it always was. Every day you wake up, your mind begins a journey before your feet even touch the ground. Every morning, before you check your phone, before you speak to another human being. Before the sunlight settles into your room, a quiet battle begins inside you. And the victory of that battle depends on one thing: daily mental vigilance. Your mind is the control center of your life. Everything you experience, everything you interpret, everything you fear, everything you hope for, it all flows through the landscape of your mind. And that landscape must be guarded. Not occasionally, not once a week when life gets heavy, not only when the pressure becomes too much, but every single day. You cannot afford to let your mind go unprotected. Not in a world filled with noise, distractions, negativity, comparison, and constant demands. Vigilance is not optional. It is essential. Daily mental vigilance means waking up with awareness that your mind is valuable and vulnerable. It means recognizing that throughout your day, you will encounter thoughts that try to derail you, emotions that try to overwhelm you, and memories that try to pull you backward. You will encounter voices, internal and external, trying to pull you away from your purpose. But when you are vigilant, you don't move through your day passively. You move intentionally, guarding your mind like the treasure it is. People often protect their money, their homes, their cars, their passwords, but they leave their minds wide open. They leave the door unlocked for negativity to walk right in. They leave the gate unguarded for fear to take up residence. They leave the window cracked for doubt to slip through. Your mind is the greatest asset you possess. It shapes your relationships, your decisions, your habits, your reactions, your identity. If your mind is not guarded daily, your life becomes a reflection of whatever enters it. Daily mental vigilance requires you to monitor the thoughts that rise inside you. Not every thought deserves a seat at your table. Every emotion deserves a response. Not every memory deserves to be relived. You must become the gatekeeper of your mind. You must examine each thought that shows up and ask, does this thought serve me? If it doesn't serve you, if it doesn't align with your growth, if it doesn't support your peace, if it doesn't strengthen your spirit, let it go. Release it. Refuse it. Replace it. Your mind is not a dumping ground for every insecurity, every criticism, or every trauma that tries to invade. It is a sacred space. It is the soil where your future is planted. Daily vigilance means you do not allow weeds to stay. You do not allow toxic thoughts to root themselves inside you. You don't wait for them to grow. You pull them out early, quickly, decisively. Becoming mentally vigilant also means paying attention to the environments you place yourself in. You cannot maintain a healthy mind if you constantly surround yourself with unhealthy influences. You cannot expect clarity if you continually expose yourself to confusion. You cannot expect peace if chaos is always in your ear. Your mind becomes what it consumes. Your environment matters. Your friendships matter. Your conversations matter. Your habits matter. Daily vigilance means being selective about where you invest your energy and what you allow into your mental space. It also means understanding that your mind will try to drift toward negativity, drift toward fear, drift toward worst-case scenarios. The mind naturally gravitates toward caution and protection, but if you are not vigilant, you will find yourself rehearsing problems that haven't happened, reliving moments that should be behind you, and repeating stories that were never meant to define you. Vigilance means noticing when your mind is drifting and guiding it back to truth, back to hope, back to purpose. Daily mental vigilance demands discipline, demands consistency, it demands awareness. You cannot fight today's battles with yesterday's strength. You cannot overcome anxiety with old tools. You cannot silence fear with outdated courage. You need a fresh commitment every morning, a renewed decision to guard your mind, to build it, to strengthen it, to align it with the life you want to live. When you practice daily mental vigilance, you begin to notice the subtle signs of mental attack. You notice when your mood suddenly shifts. You notice when your thoughts become heavy. You notice when your peace begins to slip away. You no longer ignore the warning signs. You respond with intention. You pause. You breathe. You reflect. You correct. You redirect. This level of awareness transforms you. It makes you resilient. It makes you grounded. It makes you strong in ways people cannot see but deeply feel. Daily vigilance builds a fortress around your peace. It strengthens your emotional muscles. It sharpens your mental clarity. It prevents small thoughts from becoming major battles. It keeps you anchored when life tries to toss you into storms. Mental vigilance is not about perfection. It's about attention. You will still face moments of doubt, moments of frustration, moments of insecurity. But when you are vigilant, those moments don't control you. They don't dictate your decisions. They don't shape your identity. You see them, you acknowledge them, you guide your mind back toward truth and stability. Daily vigilance also means creating habits that nurture your mind. You feed it with positive words, empowering thoughts, supportive environments, meaningful connections, and uplifting content. You give your mind something strong to stand on. You create mental routines that reinforce who you want to become. You take breaks when you need them. You breathe deeply when your mind feels overwhelmed. You slow down when life gets too fast. You rise above the chaos by choosing inner stillness over outer noise. Every single day, you have the power to choose what you allow to influence your mind. You have the authority to decide what you will entertain and what you will reject. You have the ability to train your mind into strength, resilience, and peace. This is not a one-time decision. It is a daily discipline, a daily act of courage, daily demonstration of self-respect. Daily mental vigilance is choosing to think intentionally rather than react emotionally. It is choosing to protect your peace rather than surrender it. It is choosing to direct your thoughts rather than let them direct you. It is choosing to create your mindset rather than inherit one from your past. The more you practice vigilance, the stronger you become. The more consistent you are, the clearer your mind becomes. The more you guard your thoughts, the more you transform your life. Your mind deserves protection. Your peace deserves effort. Your purpose deserves attention. There comes a point in life when you must draw a line in the sand. Not physically, but mentally. Point where you say, this is where it ends. Not just for distractions, not just for toxic relationships, not just for old habits, but for the chains in your mind that have kept you bound for far too long. If you want transformation, if you want to rise into your destiny, if you want to experience peace on a deeper level, You must declare your mental freedom. Mental freedom does not happen by accident. It is not something someone hands to you. It is not a gift that magically drops into your lap. Mental freedom is a declaration, a stance, a decision. Moment when you choose to stop being held hostage by thoughts that do not honor who you are becoming. Somewhere along the way, maybe in childhood, maybe during heartbreak, maybe through disappointment, your mind learned to hold on to things that were never meant to stay. Old words, old wounds, old fears, old identities. And those things became invisible chains. Chains so familiar, you started believing they were part of you. Chains so subtle, you didn't realize they were dictating your choices, shaping your emotions, controlling your self-worth. You were never meant to wake up every day battling guilt, shame, insecurity, or fear. Enough. You were never meant to carry the weight of every mistake you've ever made. You were never meant to stay stuck in rooms you've outgrown. Mental freedom is your right, but it becomes your reality only when you declare it. To declare your mental freedom and acknowledge that you have authority over your thoughts. Your mind does not own you. You own your mind. You are not a servant to your thoughts. You are the leader of them. You decide what stays and what must go. You decide what thoughts are allowed to grow and what thoughts will be uprooted. You decide what your mental environment will be. I am no longer chained to who I used to be. I release the thoughts that hold me back. I choose peace over chaos. I choose clarity over confusion. I choose freedom over mental captivity. This declaration is not whispered. It is spoken with conviction because freedom responds to boldness. It responds to courage. It responds to intention. When you declare your mental freedom, you are taking back territory that negativity tried to claim. You are reclaiming your identity. You are reclaiming the strength you forgot you possessed. You must declare freedom from overthinking, the spiral that keeps you trapped in endless loops of what if, me, and if only. Overthinking is a mental prison disguised as caution. It convinces you that replaying the past will somehow change it. It convinces you that imagining the worst will protect you from pain. Overthinking does not protect you. It chains you. Declaring mental freedom means refusing to live inside your fears and choosing to live inside possibility. You must declare freedom from self-doubt, the voice that constantly questions your worth, your abilities, your potential. Self-doubt is a liar with a loud voice. It will convince you that your dreams are too big, your gifts too small, your timing too late. But mental freedom silences that voice. Mental freedom declares, I am capable. I am worthy. I am evolving. I am rising. When doubt tries to steal your confidence, freedom speaks louder. You must declare freedom from shame, the invisible weight that makes you hide parts of yourself because you fear judgment. Shame attaches itself to moments you thought you would never escape. It convinces you that because something happened to you, it defines you. Shame is a chain you don't have to carry. Freedom says, I am not my mistakes. I am not my trauma. I am not my failures. I am not who I used to be. Declaring mental freedom means lifting off the labels you never deserved and stepping into the identity you were destined for. You must declare freedom from comparisons, the silent thief that steals your joy by convincing you that everyone else is ahead of you. Comparison blinds you to your progress. It blinds you to your blessings. It blinds you to your growth. Declaring mental freedom means recognizing that your story is not supposed to look like anyone else's. It means celebrating your timeline, honoring your pace, and refusing to diminish your own journey because someone else's highlights look brighter. You must declare freedom from the memories that replay pain instead of teaching lessons. The past is a place to learn from, not live in. When you declare your mental freedom, you stop letting your old chapters dictate your new ones. You stop allowing past experiences to shape your present emotions. You stop handing power to moments that should no longer influence your identity. Declaring your mental freedom means you stop being the prisoner and start being the architect. You begin building a mindset that reflects strength, discipline, peace, and resilience. You begin reprogramming your mind with truth instead of lies. You begin nurturing thoughts that elevate you instead of thoughts that suffocate you. Mental freedom is not the absence of negative thoughts. It is the refusal to let those thoughts dominate your life. It is acknowledging their presence, but rejecting their influence. It is hearing fear's voice, but following courage's direction. It is recognizing doubt, but choosing action anyway. Freedom is not silence, it is sovereignty. Your mind becomes free when you become intentional. When you set boundaries for what thoughts you will permit. When you stop entertaining conversations that drain you. When you stop feeding habits that weaken you. When you stop allowing your mind to run wild without accountability. When you choose mental order over mental chaos. This declaration of freedom transforms how you walk, how you talk, how you think, how you respond to challenges, and how you treat yourself. Mental freedom gives you permission to dream again. It gives you permission to love yourself again. It gives you permission to rebuild, to rise, to hope, to heal. Once you declare your mental freedom, life begins to shift. Opportunities that once intimidated you begin to feel possible. Relationships that once drained you begin to fall away. Confidence that once felt foreign begins to feel natural. Peace that once felt unreachable begins to settle inside you. You begin to breathe differently. You think differently. You become different. Declaring your mental freedom is not a one-day event. It is a daily commitment. Every morning you wake up, you repeat the declaration. Every time an old thought tries to return, you stand firm. Every moment negativity tries to pull you back, you confront it with strength. This declaration becomes the anthem of your transformation. There comes a time in your journey when you must stop waiting for someone else to rescue your thoughts, repair your emotions, rearrange your patterns, or rebuild your confidence. There comes a moment when you realize that no matter who hurt you, no matter who left you, no matter who doubted you, no matter who disappointed you, the responsibility for your mind ultimately rests in your hands, not your past, not your circumstances, not your environment, the people around you. You taking responsibility for your mind is one of the greatest acts of strength a person can choose. Because the mind is not a simple space. It is a battlefield, a sanctuary, a storage room, a filter, a storyteller, a critic, a dreamer, a builder, sometimes a destroyer. If you do not take responsibility for what happens inside it, your life becomes a reflection of whatever chaos enters unchallenged. When you own your thoughts, truly own them, you step into a level of personal power that nothing can take away from you. Taking responsibility for your mind means understanding that your thoughts may not always be your fault, but they are always your fight. Many thoughts were planted by others, parents, teachers, friends, enemies, experiences, heartbreaks. But uprooting them, replacing them, reshaping them, that part belongs to you. And you do not need permission from anyone to start that process. You do not need an apology to begin healing. You do not need validation to change your thinking. You do not need agreement to pursue growth. Taking responsibility means deciding that your mental well-being matters more than the comfort of staying the same. This responsibility begins the moment you stop blaming everything and everyone for the condition of your inner world. Blame may feel comfortable. It is a prison without walls. Blaming your past will not give you peace. Blaming others will not give you clarity. Blaming circumstances will not give you strength. Because blame transfers power away from you. Responsibility brings it back. The moment you say, "This is my mind and I will shape it," you become the architect of your future. Taking responsibility for your mind means paying attention to what you entertain. Thoughts don't just appear. They grow from the content you feed them. Every conversation you have, every video you watch, every environment you stay in, every relationship you hold on to, these are seeds. Seeds become thoughts. Thoughts become beliefs. Beliefs become habits. And habits become the direction of your life. If you want a different mindset, you must plant different seeds. You cannot sow negativity and expect peace to grow. You cannot feed yourself chaos and expect clarity. You cannot water insecurity and expect confidence. Am I feeding my mind? What am I allowing into my spirit? Does this strengthen me or weaken me? Does this help me grow or keep me stuck? Your mind is too valuable to be left on autopilot. When you take responsibility for it, you become intentional. You begin choosing what thoughts to accept and what thoughts to reject. You begin recognizing that not every thought deserves your attention. Some thoughts are lies disguised as logic. Some thoughts are wounds disguised as wisdom. Some thoughts are fears disguised as caution. Taking responsibility means examining your thoughts instead of automatically believing them. You start asking, is this thought true? Is it helpful? Is it rooted in fear or in reality? You begin sorting your internal world the way someone sorts through a closet, removing what no longer fits, what no longer serves, what no longer represents who you are becoming. This is the work of mental responsibility filtering, challenging, correcting, releasing. Taking responsibility for your mind also means accepting that healing is your job. Yes, others contributed to the pain. Yes, life delivered wounds you didn't ask for. Yes, there are scars that go deeper than anyone knows. But healing doesn't begin when the world changes. Healing begins when you decide to change, when you decide to confront what you've been avoiding, when you decide to face what you've been suppressing, when you decide to rewire what has been running your life. You cannot heal what you choose to ignore. You cannot overcome what you refuse to acknowledge. You cannot grow if you're unwilling to confront the patterns inside you. Responsibility means leaning into discomfort so you can break the cycles that have held you hostage. It means being honest with yourself about your triggers, your habits, your excuses, your fears. It means owning the parts of your mindset that need to be rebuilt. Taking responsibility for your mind means refusing to remain a victim of your thoughts. Victimhood may feel safe because it requires nothing from you, no change, no growth, no accountability. But victimhood steals your power. Responsibility restores it. When you choose responsibility, you begin saying, I can choose differently, I can think differently, I can feel differently, I can live differently. You understand that your mind is not fixed. It is flexible, it can adapt, evolve, heal, transform. Responsibility also means doing the work daily, not occasionally. Not only when you feel motivated, not only when life feels heavy, every single day, because your mind resets daily, your thoughts reset daily, the world throws new challenges daily. So responsibility must be renewed daily. You must wake up and decide, today, I take ownership of my thoughts. Even if yesterday was a struggle, even if last week was difficult, even if old thoughts try to return. Responsibility means showing up for yourself again and again. Taking responsibility means choosing discipline over comfort, growth over excuses, healing over avoidance, peace over drama, purpose over distraction, mindset over mood. It means understanding that your emotions are real, but they are not the rulers of your life. You feel them, but you do not bow to them. You acknowledge them, but you do not let them dictate your direction. Responsibility means learning to respond rather than react. It means pausing before you accept a negative thought. It means challenging your mind when it tries to slip back into old patterns. Taking responsibility for your mind changes everything: your confidence, your relationships, your decisions, your boundaries, your peace. You stop seeking validation from others because you become your own source of stability. You stop letting negativity invade your life because you become the protector of your inner world. You stop repeating old patterns because you become aware of your triggers. You stop settling because your mindset no longer tolerates anything below your worth. This responsibility does not make you perfect, but it makes you powerful. It doesn't eliminate challenges, but it equips you to overcome them. It doesn't stop negative thoughts, but it prevents them from controlling your life. When you take responsibility for your mind, you reclaim your autonomy, you reclaim your identity, you reclaim your direction, you begin shaping the future instead of repeating the past. You begin choosing thoughts that build you instead of break you. You begin creating a life that reflects who you truly are, not who pain tried to turn you into. There comes a moment in every person's life when the whisper of destiny becomes too loud to ignore. A moment when something deep inside you stops asking for permission and starts demanding alignment. A moment when the version of you that has been quietly waiting in the shadows steps forward and says, enough. This is my time. Claiming your destiny is not a simple decision. It is a transformation. It is the moment you stop letting your past dictate your steps and begin walking boldly toward the future that has always had your name written on it. Destiny is not something you find. It is something you recognize. It is not a path someone hands you. It is a path you build with your choices, your habits, your courage, and your discipline. For too long, you have allowed circumstances, fears, disappointments, and other people's opinions to shape your direction. But destiny does not respond to excuses. It responds to action. It responds to clarity. It responds to the person who refuses to shrink back when life gets loud. It responds to the person who decides, I will not lose myself in this battle. I will rise in it. There is a reason your desires are different from those around you. There is a reason certain visions keep coming back to your mind no matter how many times you tried to bury them. There is a reason that even in your lowest seasons, a small spark inside you refused to go out. That spark is not random, it is intentional. It is evidence that destiny is calling you, and destiny does not call the qualified, it qualifies the called. It shapes you through storms, it strengthens you through obstacles, it matures you through waiting, and it equips you through pain. Every challenge that tried to break you was actually training you. Every setback that frustrated you was actually positioning you. Every delay that exhausted you was actually preparing you. Your destiny has been pursuing you longer than your fear has been chasing you. To claim your destiny, you must stop negotiating with doubt. You must stop entertaining the lies that say you are not enough, you are too late, you are too broken, or you are too inexperienced. Destiny does not require perfection. It requires obedience. It requires willingness. It requires a heart that says, I may not have all the answers. I'm going to take the step anyway. Some of the greatest breakthroughs in your life will not come from what you know. They will come from what you dare to believe. Cannot claim your destiny while clinging to old identities. The person you used to be cannot carry the life you are meant to live. The insecurities you once depended on, the habits you once protected, the people you once ran with, all of them might have been part of your journey. Not all of them are meant to follow you into your future. Destiny requires separation. Destiny requires pruning. Destiny requires shedding old versions of yourself so that the truest version can rise. You cannot step into greatness while holding hands with who you were when you settled for less. Claiming your destiny also means embracing responsibility. You must take ownership of your mindset, your choices, your discipline, your healing, and your potential. No one is coming to rescue you, and no one is coming to do the work for you. Destiny is personal, it is intimate, it is a covenant between you and the future you were created to walk into. Stop blaming circumstances. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop hoping someone will give you permission. The door is already open. Walk through it. Every day you wake up is another opportunity to align yourself with your purpose. Clarity comes through motion. Strength comes through consistency. Progress comes through intentionality. You must choose to live like the person you are becoming, not the person you used to be. Speak differently, think differently, move differently. If you desire a destiny of influence, walk like a person of influence. If you desire a destiny of abundance, think like a person who refuses to live in scarcity. If you desire a destiny of healing, stop rehearsing your brokenness. If you desire a destiny of leadership, stop hiding from responsibility. Your destiny responds to identity, so choose the identity that aligns with the future you belong to. There will be resistance. There will be moments when everything in you wants to turn back. There will be seasons when the weight of the unknown feels heavy and the cost of transformation feels unfair. But destiny requires endurance. It requires you to keep moving even when the path is not clear. It requires you to choose faith over fear, purpose over comfort, strength over excuses, growth over familiarity. You are not being punished. You are being shaped. You are not being rejected. You are being redirected. You are not being delayed. You are being developed. No one can claim your destiny for you. Not your family, not your friends, not your critics, not your environment. The power to step into your calling rests in your hands. You must be the one to draw a line in the sand and say, From this day forward, I choose purpose, choose growth. I choose vision. I choose courage. I choose destiny. Your destiny does not respond to passive wishes. It responds to bold declarations. Open your mouth and speak life over your future. Declare that you are becoming the person you were born to be. Declare that you will no longer be held hostage by your past. Declare that fear no longer has authority over your decisions. Declare that you are rising. You were not created to live small, to live silent, or to live stagnant. You were designed with intention, built with greatness, equipped with everything you need to fulfill your purpose. Your destiny is not fragile. It is fierce. It is resilient. It is powerful. It is waiting for you to stop doubting, stop delaying, stop shrinking, and step fully into it. The world needs what you carry. Someone's healing is connected to your obedience. Someone's breakthrough is connected to your courage. Someone's hope is connected to your purpose. You claiming your destiny is not just for you. It is for every life that will be touched because you decided to rise. This is your moment. Not next year, not someday. Today, right now. Claim your destiny, stand in your purpose, walk in your authority, step into your calling. The future is waiting for you, bold, powerful, open, and full of promise.